I just watched Liv Morgan survive the toughest test of her championship reign, and if you blinked during that women's world title match at SummerSlam, you missed one of the best opening bouts this show has produced in years. Iyo Sky walked into US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis with a mission, and for 20 gut-wrenching minutes, it looked like she was going to walk out with the title. Here's what actually happened. Liv Morgan had been sitting on the Women's World Championship for over 100 days without defending it once. Let that sink in. A champion, ducking challengers, letting the title collect dust while the Judgment Day ran interference on anyone who got close. Iyo Sky ended that stalling act by beating Morgan in the Queen of the Ring final at Night of Champions back in June. And instead of chasing the SmackDown Women's Championship, she pointed straight at Morgan and said she wanted the big one. That's a statement. That's a challenger with zero interest in an easier path. The match itself opened with Morgan shoving Sky into the corner and posturing to the crowd. But Sky answered fast with a handstand double knee smash that had the building roaring. From there, these two just would not slow down. They fought outside the ring. Sky got a little too comfortable greeting fans on the barricade, and Morgan swept her legs out and dragged her back into the fight. Morgan hit her three amigos, a nod to Eddie Guerrero that always gets a pop, and Sky answered with a missile drop kick and her signature pose to the crowd. Back and forth, counter for counter, neither woman giving an inch. Then the Judgment Day showed up, because of course they did. Roxanne Perez distracted the referee while Raquel Rodriguez shoved Sky off the top rope. And for a second, it looked like the same tired script we'd seen all reign, Morgan winning dirty with her stable's help. Except Sky wasn't having it. She hit both Perez and Rodriguez with a moonsault off the apron to the floor, and wiped out Morgan's entire support system in one shot. That left Morgan alone in the ring against the woman who'd already beaten her once this year. No safety net, no shortcuts. The finish is what's going to get replayed for weeks. Sky went for her over the moonsault, the kind of high-risk move that's ended matches before, and Morgan got her knees up. Sky appeared to tweak her ankle on the landing, and Morgan capitalized immediately, nailing a codebreaker and then hitting Oblivion, her finisher, for what looked like the pin. Sky somehow kicked out. Morgan had to go back to the well a second time, hit another Oblivion, and that's when the referee's hand hit the mat 3 times. Liv Morgan retains, and she does it clean. No help from Judgment Day, just her and a genuine fight against one of the best in-ring competitors on the roster. Now let's talk about why this match matters beyond the moves. Liv Morgan's reign has been criticized hard, and fairly, because a champion who won't defend her title is a champion who's stalling the story. She admitted as much herself, telling ESPN's SportsCenter that she wants to turn 100 days as champion into 1,000. And that she's proud of her record at SummerSlam specifically, having already beaten Ronda Rousey and Rhea Ripley at this event in past years. That's now a perfect record at wrestling's second biggest show of the year, and it's the kind of stat that starts building a Hall of Fame argument whether people want to admit it yet or not. But the more interesting story is what this win might set up next. Morgan did this one without leaning on Judgment Day, and if you know anything about how WWE books these stables, that's rarely an accident. A champion proving she can win on her own, right after her stablemates get flattened and fail to help her, reads like the first crack in a group that's been together for a while. Watch Roxanne Perez closely over the next few weeks. There's smoke there. As for Iyo Sky, losing this match doesn't hurt her one bit. She's been called by plenty of people the best all-around performer in the women's division right now, and a performance like this, taking a champion to her absolute limit, and nearly winning with a signature high-risk finisher, only adds to that reputation. Sky's career has been a genuine rebuild story. She started in WWE as part of the Iconics alongside Peyton Royce, then reinvented herself through Kabuki Warriors with Asuka, winning Tag Team Gold. The real turning point came when she cashed in Money in the Bank in 2022 to capture the Raw Women's Championship, and not long after that, she became the ringleader of Damage CTRL, a faction that fundamentally changed how dominant the women's locker room could feel with one strong group backing each other up. She's held multiple women's world titles since then. Losing a close one to Morgan at SummerSlam doesn't erase any of that. It just adds another chapter to a rivalry worth watching. And Liv Morgan's own journey deserves the same respect. She debuted in a tag team with Sarah Logan, spent years being overlooked in the shuffle of a crowded women's roster, and then broke out in 2022 by cashing in her own Money in the Bank contract to win the Raw Women's Championship in a moment nobody saw coming. She's been through a genuinely personal, physically brutal rivalry with Rhea Ripley that redefined what people thought she was capable of as a performer, and joining Judgment Day gave her a platform and a support system that turned her into one of the most protected champions on the roster. Whether that protection has now run its course after this match is the real question going forward. From a business standpoint, this match opening the show tells you everything about where WWE currently ranks these two. Opening SummerSlam isn't a demotion, it's a statement that this is the match built to get the crowd standing before the bell even rings, and by every account from Minneapolis, it delivered. Fans reportedly cast over 21,000 votes just to pick Morgan's entrance gear for the night, a Wingstop-sponsored Cry About It design, which tells you the crowd engagement around her character is very real, even with the criticism about her reign. Both women got strong babyface reactions walking to the ring, which is notable given Morgan's Judgment Day ties usually put her more in heel territory. That crowd response might be the clearest sign yet that people are ready to see her stand fully on her own. So where does this go from here? If WWE is smart, and they usually are when a program is this hot, this isn't over. Sky proved she belongs in this exact spot, and a rematch down the line, maybe at a bigger stage with the Judgment Day angle fully blown open, writes itself. I'd expect Morgan to keep drifting away from her stable in the coming weeks, possibly setting up real tension with Roxanne Perez, who's shown flashes of wanting more attention for herself. And I would not be shocked if Iyo Sky gets another crack at that title before the year is out, because you don't build a match this good and just walk away from it. Both of these women left everything in that ring tonight. Whether they end up Hall of Famers is a conversation for years down the road, but performances like this one are exactly how those cases get built, one incredible match at a time. So tell me, who do you think wins the rematch? Drop your predictions below, because this rivalry is nowhere near finished.